Welcome everybody to Rolling on Three, the first podcast for all three-wheel owners. Whether you're riding on a Ryker, Spider, Slingshot, anything on three wheels, this is a show for you. Today, I'd like to welcome my friend Ed to the show. Ed's all the way, he's a transplant from New York, Brooklyn to Arizona. Ed, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it. Before I get
Perfect.
started, Happy New Year, man. I know it's a couple of days later.
Hey, man, they still. I think you're allowed to say Happy New Year all the way up into February.
Right. It's a new year, man. Let's see what it brings for us. A lot of good things, hopefully, God willing.
Absolutely. So Ed, tell us what you're rolling on.
Uh, I've got a 19 900 Ace.
All right. Where'd you pick it up from?
I got it actually used. There's a crazy story with that Ryker. Um, we ended up taking a trip to Yosemite in California National Park, beautiful, and we rented a Maverick. The little off-road vehicle.
Yes.
And where we rented it from, they had three or four Rykers. So we, we rented the Maverick, went to have dinner, and when I was sitting there, eating the whole thing was on my mind, like the Ryker. I was like, what the hell was that? So I called the guy back. I go, how much would you rent the Rykers for? The fact that we rented the Maverick, he told us for 4 hours for 160. So I said, okay. I rode that thing up and down Yosemite, had a blast. It's a different perspective when you're on the motorcycle or three wheeler than when you're in a car. So when I got home, I just I had to get one. I just had to get one. And I started looking on YouTube. I found your channel. I found Beth's channel. I think Night Ryker, I think his
Night
name.
Riker, yeah.
Yeah, I saw his channel and I just had to get one. So I ended up going to the dealership. At the time, they were real hard to get.
Mm,
They were real hard to get. And if they had them, they weren't going to let them. They weren't going to haggle on the price.
right.
So I ended up getting one used for about 10,000, and it had all the mods. It had the back seat, the Lynx bag, the um, LED lights. It had the end links. It was just completely decked out. So
Good.
I didn't have to spend money on mods because you know how expensive the mods are on these things. Very expensive.
No, that was a great pickup, man. That's cool because I always like to see how the people's purchases went because mostly like 75-80% of the time people are like they had a good experience buying. Some people get a little bit of nightmares from dealerships, but I'm like, don't
Yeah,
everybody got a nightmare from a dealership in some case or whatsoever?
yeah, and then you sit there all day going back and forth, and numbers don't match, and I just didn't want that headache, so I started looking on Facebook, and I found it on Facebook Marketplace actually.
Oh yeah,
Then
that's
there was
pretty good.
another guy that was selling Rykers, but they were salvage titles, and I was like, nah, I don't want a salvage title for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah, that's always going to be a problem down the line. Somebody
Yeah,
else's headache. Nah, don't you don't need to pick that up. So,
yeah.
Ed, I know we talked. You lived in Brooklyn, Arizona. So, tell us a little about yourself. About you.
Um, well, I was born in Manhattan, raised in Brooklyn. Then in the '90s, we made you know, the the change to California. If you remember, New York was really bad at that time, and so was LA. Come to find out, LA was no different. But I've been in the automotive industry for quite some time. I worked for Steve Millen, worked for Turbonetics, and I've always liked all like cars and stuff, and I worked at a shop also. And then I was never into motorcycles. I never thought about a motorcycle. Just before I bought the Ryker, I was looking at the KTM because I like the orange color.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the Dukes and all that, the naked bikes, but the Ryker was it, man. Now I'm 100% in. I got real good friends in the community, family, big group. I ride with the Three Wheel Invasion out here in Phoenix. I
Mm-hmm.
started riding with them in LA, Three Wheel Invasion, Los Angeles. But
Well, let's talk about them anyway while we're here. So, I've seen some of the postings. I posted some stuff about three-wheel evasions on my site. How'd that come about?
started with my boy Chris Martin. He's the one that started it. I believe I could be wrong, but it started with mostly slingshots.
Mm-hmm.
And once the Rykers started dropping, then the Ryker community started getting big with them. Um, they also have spiders in both in California and Phoenix. They have Vanderhalls and they got the T Rexes.
Mm.
So the LA crowd is very big. Actually, when Chris does a run, a lot of people show up. I mean, we would take over the streets of LA. Phoenix is getting like that now. So
Okay.
the Phoenix chapter is getting big. Before I came out here, Chris was telling me, look, there's another chapter starting in Phoenix. So big ups to Dylan and David. They're the one that started getting that off and stuff. So we have a lot of slingshots in our group. More than anything, it's the slingshots. But we do have a large amount of Rykers, and we're getting more and more. Spiders are getting big now too. A lot of people are upgrading from the Ryker to the Spider.
Right, right. They're looking for the power. So the organization,
And
like
comfort.
what y'all been doing, like with your ride outs, events, what's up with them?
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of events. We went to Houston. A few of us went to Houston for a Slingshot Fest. Um, I met Orlando out there actually, so big up to him and his crew. We also did the Three Wheel Showdown in Vegas. Remember, I was telling you about that one.
Yeah.
That one's organized by Cindy and Ron Moon, and it's getting big. It's going cross country. Actually, Three Wheel Showdown is going to New York.
What?
So yeah, it's going to come to New York. So
I'll
hopefully
be
it'll be
there. I'll be
big.
there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you got to come through, man, and meet Cynthia and Ron. Ron has an incredible slingshot. I mean, you got to see it's stretched out and everything.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then Free Will Invasion, we're trying to get together. I know I was talking to a few of you guys of doing a big event in California. I think I was talking to Billy. I was talking to Marty about that. You already know
Mhm.
Marty. Vegas Riders, big up to
Vegas. Yep.
him.
My guy
Yep.
Marty.
Yeah, and so actually, when we did the Three Will Showdown, we had linked up with him and his crew. And if you saw that video, you saw that spider he has.
Oh, that's just crazy.
Oh
It's
my goodness.
crazy.
It is loud too. It sounds really good. I can't believe um, that build on that was insane.
Yeah, that's
So
something to see.
yeah, when we were in LA, also me and Chris, we started giving. We did a little event where we were handing out water and clothing to the homeless people.
Mm, mm.
Sneakers and stuff like that. So we're trying to get that going here in Arizona too, because there's
No,
a
no.
large amount of homeless people, and it gets cold in the desert at night.
Right.
So, these people need socks and shoes and blankets and stuff like that. So we're trying to get something going with that. But the big one is the Three Will Showdown for us.
Right.
That's gonna be
No, I was looking at some of the videos, man. Yeah, it was a nice turnout you had. A lot of y'all
yeah.
were the slingshots were lighting up the night, man. They were really doing their thing,
And
man.
we got a police escort too.
Ah, nice, nice. That's
Yeah,
what's
we got a
up.
police escort.
Oh, okay, okay.
So that was pretty cool. I was talking to a couple of officers, and they were like, look, you guys could go up and down the strip as long as you guys don't race, peel out, act a fool, and we'll give you police escort. You guys are more welcome to do that. So
Right,
they're
right.
being very cordial with us and very professional.
Yeah, we
So
in New York City has a big slingshot community. Shout
does
out
it?
to Sling Squad NY, and I don't know if I don't want to miss any names, but they come out and them things are fully dressed, so I know all about it, man. Our
A
Rykers
lot of
pull
money.
up, but these guys don't stop adding to the Rykers, man. It's like every time I see at one of these events, somebody got something new attached to it. I'm like, I
Oh
never
yeah,
even seen that before.
yep, yeah. There's all kinds of stuff for the Rikers. I mean, the parts are expensive. I will say that, but it is what it is. If you wanna play, you gotta pay. So
That's a fact. That's a fact. What about you and mods? I mean, I know you got yours already modded out, but you got plans
Yeah,
for anything
I've
in the
added some
future?
stuff. I've added a few trick LED parts. I got the Silver Turbo, the tunable, the quiet version.
Okay.
When I bought the Ryker, it had two brothers, too
Woo!
loud, too loud for me. Oh my God,
You
I
need
used to ride
earplugs.
maybe,
You need earplugs.
yeah, it's like a headache. It's way too loud, and I'm coming from a Mustang GT with a loud exhaust, and that thing was just too much. So I took it off and I got the quiet version. It's cool because it's kind of tunable,
Mhm.
but I'm really looking at RLS right now. I know they got some new setups. Big up to him, and kind of
Yeah,
thinking
shout
about
out to
going around.
my guy RLS, man. He's coming up with
Yeah,
some
I,
pretty crazy designs, man.
and he's a one man operation, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a
Wow.
welder by trade. He makes everything in house and made to order, and like he's a really one man show and
Hmm.
made in the USA, and real down to earth guy. Like if anybody wants to purchase from him, as for like customer service wise, if he
He's
can get
good.
back to you, he'll talk to you, he'll help you out. Like really, really good businessman, real nice guy, man.
Yeah, Bill's like that too. Big ups to Bill. He's really customer
Oh,
service
BLR,
oriented.
BLR,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, he's a real dude, a real cool dude. I've chatted with him. I've had trouble with installs, and I'll send him a private message, to help me through, and he'll respond right back.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, a customer service base, man, that's always good because if you're gonna spend money on a part and you'll have the company or the owner reach back out to you, give you a hand, man. That doesn't have a price on it.
but yeah, when I was working at Turbonetics, there's one thing I used to say: bad customer service spreads out faster than good customer service.
Mm.
You know,
Mhm.
if you don't take care of your customers, man, people, especially with the internet, people will get on the forum and it'll get out. And then, you go to a car meet. Yeah, I bought a turbo from Turbonetics and it failed and they never got back to me. Really? Oh, wow. It just it gets out.
No, it does. It does. And you're absolutely right. I never heard it and put that way, but it's true. So like riding now, I know it's hot. It's Arizona. Like,
Yeah.
do you guys, do
Yeah.
you guys have a part where you're like, ain't nobody bringing their bikes out during these months because it's scorching or what?
Yeah, man. I remember, I think I was on Instagram with you and Irv, and
Yeah,
I think I posted a temperature and it was like 115. I
yeah,
don't
it
know if
was
it was Billy.
crazy.
I think it was Billy Bay was like, man, what the hell was that? It says 117.
Yeah,
Man, it is hot out here, man. And this is my first year out here, and it was brutal. I mean, I used to go outside, and I'm like, how do people survive in this weather? Like in New York, we're used to that humidity,
yeah.
but it's just dry heat, and and people make it like if it's cool because it's dry heat. It's only dry heat. Yeah, well, so is the oven. Hot is hot. It doesn't matter if it's, you know,
Yeah, it's true, man. Because I hear that same expression. Oh, it's dry. I'll be like, listen, there's no difference from when you're taking off your helmet and water, your sweat pours out, or taking off
yep.
your helmet and you just steam comes out. It's
Oh
all
my goodness. And think about it. I don't have hair, so you would think it would be a little cooler. Oh my goodness. Yeah, when it's hot, it's hot. But I guess these people out here are used to it. They were telling me that this was a mild summer.
wow.
So, but when you guys have your winter time is when we ride.
Okay.
So right now it's riding season. So a lot of people are on. You see motorcycles out there. The thing I do not understand about Arizona is there is no helmet law,
Yeah,
which to
no
me
helmet
makes
on.
absolutely no sense. No, I ride full face all the time, every time. Well, I mean, I've got like a little brain bucket, as they call it, but no, I wear a helmet, man,
No,
and
I'm
rarely do
serious.
I wear shorts.
You're right, man, because I mean, I know there's a no helmet. A lot of states have it, but I just find it so weird. Like when I was in Miami and I rode out with the guys in Miami and no helmet, just
Oh,
goggles. Like,
really?
yeah, one guy has a helmet. Everybody else, and he has a helmet just for the simple fact that he's like, I just want to wear a helmet. And he had a full face with the mic and everything. And all the other guys, goggles, not even on their head, not even on their eyes, on their head. They just zipping by, and
Oh,
here I
wow.
am visiting, and I got a, and I'm like,
Jesus.
it just to me is so weird not to have it. Like, even when I ride around in a slingshot, I wear a brain bucket. It's
Yeah.
like it's like, oh, you're practically in a car, but it's just to me, it's like having a seatbelt, right? To me, it's
Right.
like normal. Like
Hmm.
I can't normalize no helmet.
Right. Right. Yeah. There's a YouTube video. I saw it. I can't remember what channel it was, but there's a motorcycle rider. It looks like he's on a sport bike, and a car in front of him hits a fragment of a tire. The tire comes at him full speed, knocks his visor off.
Oh, I saw that
You
video.
saw that? Okay. Can you imagine if he didn't have a helmet on? the damage it would have done to his face and or eye.
That was
So
crazy. Yeah, that would took his nose and his eye right off.
it
This
would,
thing
yes,
blew
yeah,
his face mask right off. I mean, the helmet did the job and the
the
face
helmet did the
mask.
job.
So,
Yeah,
which is crazy because his face mask didn't shatter. It deflected the
it
item
deflected.
off, but the face mask, the clips broke. But yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that. You imagine
and
his oh shit moment though?
oh my goodness, I mean, he probably was happy he had that helmet on. You know,
Oh yeah, God bless him for that wearing his helmet that day,
and
man.
there's also a video. I mean, I get we're on three wheels, but it was a Moto GP. I think it was a commercial for AGV helmets, I think it was, or one of those helmet brands where the guy has a high side. You rode motorcycles, so you know what a
Yeah,
high side crash is,
right.
where it kind of kicks you off, and this motorcycle rider lands on his head.
Ooh.
That helmet saved his life. So wearing a helmet to me is a must. I don't see it, and we got guys out here riding Hayabusas with no helmet.
I mean,
That's
God, God bless him, man. I just want everybody to ride and come home safe. But I talk to guys who ride without helmets, and they say, man, I'd rather just be finished than be a vegetable. If the only
yeah,
thing you're gonna save is my head, I'd rather just be like. And I get it. I mean, if you ride hard and dangerous, but man, even the best stunt drivers wear full helmets in stunt cars. So
yeah. I
eh,
mean, it's
it,
safety.
yeah,
I mean, even the gear that you wear, like I said, even in the summertime, I try to wear jeans. I mean, sometimes it's hard because of heat, but when you fall off that bike and that asphalt starts sliding, you start sliding on that concrete, whatever, you're gonna have a bad day.
yeah. I've been in a few of those. Now I haven't slid though on my two wheels. I've been clipped. I've been hit at the stop sign. Another time I was clipped. Both times I wasn't moving. So when I got
Ooh,
clipped, I wound up just spinning around and where I was at. So I got thrown off. And the other time was another clip. So luckily for me, all my riding days, I was never at full speed when I took any hits. But I have friends who took it, and that road rash is rough. That's why I kind of ride with everything. If I do the minimums, I'm definitely gonna do like a mesh jacket
okay,
with just
right,
some pads on the elbows. Always something on my hands because that's the first thing you're gonna stick out when you fall. So I
yeah,
definitely got to have some gloves on. So,
always,
always because that's really what you're going to start waving your hands when you go
yeah,
off that bike, in any direction. But, I try to get out there with the bare minimums. I always advocate for people to, do something's better than nothing. Dress for the slide, not the ride, that type of
yeah,
attitude. Yeah.
that's a very good saying. It's even if we're on three wheels, man, you can really get hurt in these bikes.
Yeah, you can get
You
hurt.
know,
And I've seen them in like big ride outs. Like even when guys are in big, huge ride outs, and I saw I went on the DMX ride out and right away, people burning up, smoking it up, and then no one could see, and then bang, bang, bang,
oh
three
wow,
motorcycle pile up. Bang, bang, bang. So, it's those big ride outs is tough, and I always say like, you gotta pick your spot when it comes to those ride outs.
yeah, because you don't know what the other person's doing. You
Right. If
know,
you're slow and you don't want to get in the pack, stay in the back. If you're a speed demon, you're gonna be ahead of everybody. Do it. You got to pick your spot in those ride outs, man. And try not to get because once somebody starts going crazy and burning out, it kind of messes up because the guy three bikes down don't know what's going on. He pulls
right?
up, somebody pulls up, pat, 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 and once it's a clip, he gets clipped. He falls over. He keeps coming so, it's always like that when you ride. But do you
Yeah,
ride? Are
I'm
you
sorry. Go ahead.
riding? Sorry. Go ahead.
No, we've had rides where in LA a slingshot ran into another slingshot because he was following too close.
Mm,
So that's something that we stress when we go out. Don't, leave some space just in case you got to maneuver or brake because someone is too close because that happens a lot. It's happened. Like I said, we had a slingshot that ran into another slingshot. So and you don't know if the person behind you is on their phone or changing their songs or whatever. It's just, man, when we have these big rides, yeah, that's something we always think about. Leave some space, between you and the bike ahead of you, because if you have to brake hard and there's a guy right behind you, it's it's bad.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Is the I saw that you was telling me it's getting a lot bigger in Arizona. Like, so when you
Yes.
started now, like, is it like, remember when we first got them in 19, everybody was like, "What are those? What are
Yeah.
those?" Now is it like becoming more of the norm out there?
Not really. There's times when I'm not riding with my crew and I'm riding by myself, and I get a lot of people just pulling up, taking pictures, like, what is that? Like, but there is people that come up to me and says, "Yo, how much was that Ryker?" So people are more aware of the Ryker, but I wouldn't say it's really common. I
Hmm.
mean, I mean, when I ride with my with the three-wheel invasion, of course, you see Rykers because they're there. But if I'm riding by myself, it's extremely rare for me to see a Ryker. Maybe I might see a Spider, maybe I might see a Slingshot, but the Rykers, no.
Wow,
You know,
wow, that's
what
interesting.
Arizona has is a large group of guys riding ATVs. I know it's like that in New York. I know they're trying to cut down. What's the name of that mayor? The mayor
Adams.
Adams. He's talked about the bikes. As a matter of fact, he mentioned three wheelers, which was like, what?
Yeah, he
I
messed
think I've
up.
seen that clip. And yeah, we have a large amount of people doing that, especially on the weekends, like just a huge group taking over the street. So I've ran into some of them guys before, but the Rykers, they're not as popular. And even in LA, you don't see them unless we go to like a big crew, like a cruise or something.
Right. Is
But
those ATVs legal in Arizona on the streets?
I think they are because people ride those Mavericks on the streets.
Okay.
So the ATVs, like the four-wheel bikes, I'm not sure, but you see them everywhere.
Oh,
Kids are
wow.
doing wheelies, stuff like that. You know,
Are you like commuting, or is it recreation, or how you using the Ryker?
both actually,
Oh.
both. Whether like the way it is now, sometimes I'll ride the Ryker to work, for I won't have to use my vehicle. I used to have a
Mhm.
Mustang, sold that. Now I have a F-150, and just gas being expensive, although gas is cheaper here than anywhere else. I just went to California for the weekend, and it was like $1 more.
Woo!
You
Shoo!
know, yeah, gas up
Woo!
there, I think it was like around 4.80 a gallon in Cali. When I left Arizona, it was 2.99.
Mm, a blessing.
Yeah, a big difference. I'm sure it's like that in New York too. It's expensive.
Yeah, it's fluctuating. It's kind of like leveled out. We're in like the high threes right now, mid to
Okay.
high threes. But yeah, we had some problems, man. But certain places, like you go to Connecticut, you might pay a little more.
Oh,
That
really?
depends.
Okay. But you still have the subway train if you don't want to take, that's the
Oh
beauty
yeah,
of
if
being
you
in the city.
yeah, if you down, the avoiding the fighting, the slashings, the robberies,
Right,
that's
right.
going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Homeless
People
people
beating
on the
people
train.
up, and yeah, and then you could take the subway for $3. That's going up for the first
Oh, is
time.
it?
For the first time, one subway ride will be more than a slice of pizza.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
So
Remember
how much
that?
do they pass now?
They not eat there's gonna be they're eliminating the passes. Now
Are
it's
you
just
serious?
yeah. Now it's after 12 rides or 12 consecutive rides, you get like two rides free or something. They're changing the whole format of how they do this. With they're eliminating the Metro card. You and I know about the token.
Yeah, I have a collection of tokens, man.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you understand. So the whole system, they're revamping how everything's gonna be done, and it's just a
Wow.
different setup. Yeah, but this is the first time a slice of pizza was like, 250,
Right.
and now I think the price of a ride is going to be going up a little past $3 maybe this year.
Jesus. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so times is changing. Times is
Times is
changing since you
changing,
left New
man.
York.
Yeah, it's funny because every time that someone says, "Oh, I'm gonna go visit New York," I said, "Don't get a car. You ain't gonna find parking. Just
No.
Just take the train. If you want to go to, anywhere in the city, just get to Penn Station, and you can go from there.
Yeah,
Unless you're going to Long Island, the LIR doesn't run all night. You're gonna be on a bus.
yeah.
You, you
That's the
know,
only place you're gonna really need a car. If you're gonna go up to Long Island,
right?
upstate New York, then you rent your car. But if you want to tour the city, even Brooklyn now, Ed, there's no more parking, man.
There's no, oh my God, yeah. I have a family that still lives out there. A lot of the people I know and family, they left New York or went upstate. So the city is getting expensive, man. You
Yes,
know,
super expensive, man. Where it's getting really, really, it's
I'm
getting
actually
tough. It's
surprised
getting
you're still
tough.
in the city, man.
What?
I'm actually surprised you're still in the city.
Well, it's like I'm on the outskirts, so it's like where I'm at. My neighborhood is not that congested yet.
Hmm.
It's still rough, but parking. I got a driveway, so it's I'm not in a bad position yet where I have to turn around and say no, I can't stand it no more. I got to get out. I'm like right on that cusp of where who knows what's gonna happen in the next couple of years. Like I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, right now I still got other things on the line. I'm retired now, so it's like a little bit less stress on things I have to do. So, but I'm still, I love New York. I'm one of those. But now that I'm traveling to all these different places, I'm starting to say, wait, man, it might be time to find something new, man, because I'm like, man, I went to Miami. I was like, wow.
did you like Florida?
I did, that part of Florida I was in, I liked, it was interesting. It was nice. The weather was beautiful. The wide, the roads. I did experience traffic, of course, as
Right.
Florida's getting a little crowded too. But
Yeah.
besides, like, I don't know. I got the Carolinas coming up next. I'm going to Kentucky next week.
Oh wow.
Then I'll be shooting to Houston for the Houston WAP. Shout out to Lando and the Houston WAP.
Yeah.
And I am gonna try to get to Vegas in September and meet up with some of the guys there.
Oh
Uh,
really?
yeah, so there's a
Okay.
trip coming up with a bunch of friends of mine, and I'm gonna try to squeeze out one day so I can hook up with everybody in Vegas and film everybody and make a little video.
Well, you know what? Vegas from here is like 3.5 hours, man.
Right, 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 right.
You know what? And if you're riding with the Vegas riders, Marty and them, hell, I might even go out there.
Well, yeah, I'll definitely keep you update. It's all tentative, but yeah, I want to
Yeah.
definitely meet up with Marty and his crew and chop it up. I love meeting you guys, so I always try to hit up anybody that I follow or I connect with, and I'll be like, hey, I might be in your state, and they'll be like,
Yeah.
all right, tell me exactly so we could try to, and then
Yeah.
I
Make it
always
work.
say, yeah, let's meet up, let's hang out, let's chop it up. That's how I met. Crazy enough, that's how I met Ryder Drive Zia. He actually was visiting New York
Oh,
with
you
his
mean
family.
Night Riker?
Night Riker. I
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
Ryder Drive and reading yours, but yeah, Night Riker. And he was like, "Hey man, I took my family to New York on vacation. You want to meet up?" I was like, "Man, where you at? I'm gonna come meet you."
Wow.
So I chopped it up with him for like 2 hours. We went and got some tea and some hookah.
Oh wow.
It was real nice, man. It was like the same guy that you see on YouTube. Just it was
Same.
chatted up. We took a couple
Wow.
of pictures. Yeah, it was fun. So I kind of like that experience of meeting fellow, Can-Am riders and stuff like that.
Yeah. Is he still? I think he sold his Riker, right?
Yeah, he sold it. He's on is it a Harley or a Goldwing?
Okay, so he's on two wheels.
Yeah, he's back. He's on two wheels. I don't know what he's riding though. I'm not sure if it's a Harley or Goldwing. I haven't reached out to him in a while, but I'll chop it up with him. But
What about Quasimodo? Is he still on a Riker? I know he had trouble with his.
I think Quasi said he still has it, but I don't think he's going to have it for long. I'm
Okay.
hoping Quasi comes to the Houston WAP in March. I want to meet Quasi. We've chopped it up behind the scenes a few times. Great guy, man. Full of knowledge too.
Okay.
I can't wait to meet up with him. I've already met Beth. I've met King Jaffe Joe.
Jaffe Joe.
Uh, Yeah, there's still a couple of YouTubers out there that I need to meet, and hopefully we'll all meet up soon at the WAP. He
There's
used to.
also that the other guy, Barry. I think he's in Texas. He's
Oh,
what's
Thrill Mouse. That's right.
yeah,
Yes,
Trim
I
House
forgot
Moto.
about Thrill Mouse. Yeah, he's been doing his other thing with his other channel or his other machine. I
Yeah,
didn't see
I
too
seen
much
that.
Ryker content dropping, but I know he had a
Yeah,
serious love for the Ryker. He was like the second person I ever had on the podcast. Like,
really.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Me and him chopped it up. You know, online we stay in touch with each other, but it's cool. I mean, I meet like you know, like I got a great behind the scenes community, you know, that I
Yeah,
chop up online with. It's fun, you know, it's cool to come on lives and check out what everybody's doing. And I like it. It's like I'm building like this extended family out, you know.
right. Yeah, I wanted to go to the Houston WAP, but I got a friend coming from New York, actually, the Bronx. She's coming, and she wants to check out Arizona, Monument Valley, Grand Canyon, Sedona, and stuff
Mm-mm.
like that.
Mm.
So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So there's always next year.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
man. This thing is building up to be
it is,
a
man.
huge event, you know, and it's on its way to be something special, and I'm glad I'm a part of it, and I hope everybody could become a part of it because I think it's going to be the next big thing. But you know, like all these other places, I'm hoping as time goes on, now that I'm retired, I could start, you know, visiting all these other events and start getting out more. You know, it's hard traveling with the Ryker; it gets expensive, but
Right.
I'm gonna
It,
have
it
to
does.
just keep renting everywhere I go, you know, just rent one, you know, instead of shipping it. Unless I get something where I could put it in the back of a truck.
That's why I sold my Mustang and got the F-150 because it's got a tow package. So there's a guy here in Arizona, Eagle Brothers Rentals in Apache Junction. A little cheap plug for him, but he has a 14-foot by 6 trailer. So that's how we make the Vegas runs possible.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
whoever wants to go, they pay for the rental of the trailer, which is like 250 for the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and we roll. So
Oh, that's perfect. That's
because
perfect.
the Mustang was impractical, man. It just
Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. Look, if you had to describe your Can-Am experience in one word or one sentence, how would you describe it?
family,
Hmm.
family.
That's a nice
And
one.
the reason I say that because the three-wheel invasion, all the members are like family. No color lines. We don't judge anybody where they come from. And it's just like a family environment. All those people in LA that I started riding with are like family. When I see them, it's like a family reunion. The people here in Phoenix have become like a family. It's all love, and that's just the way the community is. It's pretty amazing how close we've actually become. One of the guys here in Phoenix, he opens up his house for the Christmas holiday, and he has us, come over for the holiday. So it's really family oriented, and I'm sure you've experienced the same. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, and
with
yeah.
the
It's cool. You know, when we had the Juneteenth event out here, man, it was a lot of love, and you know, we had a good time, and everybody comes out, and people bring their kids, and yeah, so it's the same, man. It's like I said, it's like an extended family, man. It's for
yeah,
real. It's for real. Yeah. So
and you've
listen,
helped a
man.
lot.
If anybody wants to contact you in the area, wants to go riding, just give up your socials or whatever you want, and the clubs you riding with, let them know. I'll post everything below after, but you could tell them.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to find out about Three Will Invasion, we have two pages. We've got the SoCal, the LA chapter, and we've got the Phoenix. So I think um, Dylan also made a page on Instagram for Three Will Invasion on Phoenix. But other than that, my Instagram ed718.bkny. Same thing for TikTok, Facebook ed718, and you can post the links from there. But yeah, but the Three-Will Invasion, we are on Facebook. That's how we post our meets and stuff like that. So if anybody is in LA or Phoenix, if they want to find out information, just go to the page and we'll post up meets. Actually, speaking of meets, we got this weekend we're going to ride with the Rough Riders. They're having a huge event here in Arizona,
Mm.
so we're going to ride with them and meet up with them. So we got to be careful with those guys. Those guys are stunters. Yep,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a
yeah,
lot of
they
fun.
came. Yeah, they came out for the DMX Memorial Ride Out. Boy, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely gonna get footage of that. I'll have my GoPro batteries ready because I'm sure I'm gonna see some crazy
Yeah, you're
stuff.
gonna see some fun, man. You're gonna get some nice footage that event, man. Good luck there.
Yeah,
But they're a bunch of cool guys. But yeah, they
yeah,
ride. They ride. That's
they ride. Yeah, because we actually did a run with them in LA, and they were stunting all the way down the freeway and stuff like that. And I know a lot of guys from the Rough Riders here are from New York too. A lot of guys.
yeah, yeah. A lot of guys relocate all over. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's gonna
they
be
got a
fun.
lot of chapters, a lot of chapters.
Yes,
They're spread out of this globe, man. Big organization. Shout
huge.
out to them, man. There was tens of thousands of them for that ride out when they came to New York. They
Oh,
shut
I
the
bet.
city down, man. They shut the
I
city down.
bet.
But it was a beautiful time, beautiful guys. We had a great time. So listen, man, before my algorithms go crazy, I'm gonna chop it up, end up the show. It was a pleasure to have you, Ed. We
Thanks for
keep in
having me,
touch
brother.
behind the scenes, of course. If you should know who I am, anybody. If you're listening, I'm Keith Hammer, host of the podcast Rolling on Three. If you want to contact me to be on the show, send me an email, rolling on three wheels at Gmail. That's the number three, rolling on three wheels at Gmail. You can find me on all social media platforms. Just type in rolling on three, spell it out, rolling on three, and you'll find me on all socials. Instagram, I'm the Shadow Black Ryker. And thank you everybody for watching and listening. I'm streaming on all platforms, and I want everybody to ride safe. Thank you for getting me into season 6. All my listeners, I appreciate that. And we'll be chopping it up soon, man. I can't wait. One day we're gonna meet up. All right, my brother?
Yes, sir. Keep me posted about September.
Of course.
If you make it out there, I'll be out there with the Vegas Riders. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.